All right, welcome back, everybody. We are diving into Nehemiah chapter 7 today, aka the chapter that's part Wall Street, part family reunion, and part security boot camp. Seriously, you're going to see walls, you're going to see gates, you're going to see lists, you're going to see maybe the most organized census in ancient history. So grab your coffees, let's get going. So, chapter 6 basically ended with Jerusalem's walls having been completed. This is a big moment. It's exciting. But Nehemiah, he's looking around and he's like, walls are nice, but I feel like something is missing. So he probably grabs one of his friends and he's like, hey, write this down. We need doors. We need doors with a system. We need gates with rules. What else? We need some singers. And the guy's writing all this down and he's just like, singers? And Nehemiah's like, yeah, singers. Moral support is important. So, chapter 7, verse 2 says this: I gave the responsibility of governing Jerusalem to my brother Hanani, along with Hananiah, the commander of the fortress, for he was a faithful man who feared God more than most. So just picture Nehemiah or somebody else standing there at the gates as people are trying to make their way into the city. They've got a clipboard in their hand and they're checking people. They're looking at them like this. Just one moment, please. I don't see your name on the list, and your goat is also not on the list. Please move along. Next, Nehemiah goes all meticulous, and he makes a list of everybody returning from exile. Names, families, lineages, the number of people in their families. Basically, the VIP guest list for Jerusalem. If your name isn't there, you're out. No city access, no free bread, nada. Verse 6 says this: Here is the list of the Jewish exiles of the provinces who returned from their captivity. King Nebuchadnezzar had deported them to Babylon, but now they return to Jerusalem and the other towns in Judah where they originally lived. Honestly, this is a little bit like Grandma checking to see who RSVP'd to the Thanksgiving get-together. Who's this cousin I never met? Sorry, they're not on the list. No pie for her. Also, shout out to the ancient genealogists who were in charge of writing all this information down. Imagine the patience that it probably took to write down all these names and numbers of families with ink and parchment. And you and I thought Google Forms were tedious, but yeah. So then after this long list of names and the numbers and the tediousness that came with that, we get a treasury update, and it is a lot. Starting in verse 70, it talks about family leaders giving gifts for the work. The governor gave the treasury 1,000 gold coins, 50 gold basins, 530 robes for the priests. The other leaders gave to the treasury 20,000 gold coins, 2,750 pounds of silver for the work, and the rest of the people gave 20,000 gold coins, about 2,500 pounds of silver, and 67 robes for the priests. So Nehemiah is basically saying, yeah, we got money, we got robes, and we got a lot of it. Imagine Nehemiah sitting there counting coins like Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales, if you know what I'm talking about. But instead of swimming through his coin pool, he's in Jerusalem's treasury, and he's muttering to himself, if anyone steals one coin, you're cursed. And the lesson for us there is, building walls are great, but make sure your people, your coins, and your holy wardrobe are accounted for, because clearly it's important. Alright, I kid, I joke, but on the surface, chapter 7 of Nehemiah, it might seem a little bit boring. It's full of lists, it's full of names, it's full of money, but there is a method here. Nehemiah was building a sustainable community. He knew that walls alone wouldn't save the people. They needed organization, accountability, and everybody doing their part, everybody knowing their role. Without it, you get chaos. And I'm talking goat is loose in the gatehouse level of chaos. So the lists, the spreadsheets, the roles, they are all important, and they were essential to the people's survival. All right, what are the takeaways we can get from chapter 7 today? First thing is, check your guest list. Organization equals sanity. Whether it's a city, whether it's a Zoom meeting, whether it's a family barbecue, knowing who's coming and what they're bringing saves you a lot of time, it saves you a lot of drama, and Grandma's RSVP would be proud. The second thing I think we saw in chapter 7 of Nehemiah is that spreadsheets are eternal. Tracking names, donations, responsibilities. It may have been boring for the person that was doing it. It may sound boring to you who's reading it, but it kept the society running. Nehemiah knew it. Your boss knows it. Your teacher knows it. Now you know it. And the last thing I wanted to mention here was that community, whether in this chapter or in our lives today, community thrives on people having each their own role. Everybody here had a job. We had singers, we had Levites, we had gatekeepers, we had priests. Even small contributions matter, and without it, the whole city would be like a toddler in a Lego store, chaotic and painful. So there you have it. There is Nehemiah chapter 7 in a nutshell in all of its glory. The walls are up, the gates are guarded, the coins are counted, the names are checked. Who knew that a chapter full of lists could be so darn strategic? Won't he do it?